discussions. As we all know, this fact that Shakyamuni Buddha was born in this land about 2600 years ago, and not only Shakyamuni Buddha, two previous other Buddhas like Kakrachanda Buddha and Kanakmuni Buddha were also born in Nepal. And the initiative taken by NATTA to promote Buddhist pilgrimage is a commendable initiation in the sense that this is one of the area which has enormous potentials but needs to be properly marketed for promoting the Buddhist pilgrimage tours in Nepal, not only in Lumbini and Lumbini areas, but also all over the Nepal. And His Eminence Mingyu Rinpoche has also shared about various places that many other great masters down the centuries, right from the birth of Buddha, has meditated, enlightened, and then made various places of Nepal as a very holy places for the Buddhist, not only for the Buddhist practitioners, believers, but also those common people around the world who love peace and happiness. So, allow me to request Mr. Punya Prasad Parajuli to deliver his words of wisdom on this momentous occasion.
Namaste, everyone, and then respected President of NATTA and all the participants who are interested in this BITM. So, as a Buddhist scholar and Buddhist practitioner, today I want to introduce major Buddhist pilgrim sites in Nepal. Not only Lumbini and Kathmandu, but there are lots of Buddhist places associated with previous Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, as well as Buddhist masters like Padmasambhava, Milarepa, Banaratna, and then all of South Asia are included in this Buddhist circuit. Like one of the famous master, Padmasambhava, who is also called Guru Rinpoche in Himalayan language. He is from Pakistan, Swat Valley. He was born in the present day Swat Valley. In ancient time, we called it Uddiyana, Urgen, and then eventually he came from Pakistan to present day India, and he came to eastern Nepal, Marathika, Halesi, and then he came to Kabre, Timal, then finally he came to Kathmandu Valley, and then he did meditation in Chobar Cave. He did his final meditation in Phorping, Asura Cave, and he got enlightenment in the land of Nepal in Phorping. And then when he was enlightened, he was invited by that time the Tibetan king from Tibet, King Chichen Dechen, to propagate Buddha's teaching in Himalayan region. And then he traveled through Nuwakot, Raswa, and present-day Kerong in China, and then finally he went to Tibet, and finally he spent 55 years in whole of the Himalayan region, in Tibet, Bhutan, Sikkim, northern Nepal like in Helambu, Elmo, and finally he prophesied in future the students of Buddhism should visit certain pilgrim places, especially the Phorping, Marathika, the Halesi, and then problem is that in our main itinerary, his power places are not included in normal travel itineraries. It is not promoted by NTB, it is not promoted by any other government agencies, but many tourists want to visit Nepal for the Padmasambhava places. And they come Kathmandu, and where is Pharping, where is Maratika, but our neighboring countries like Bhutan, they are doing good business in tourism because they have the good idea where is Maratika, where is Pharping, where is Timal, where is Nuakot, this Padmasambhava places. But the problem is we have to promote that Padmasambhava places. And besides Sakyamuni Buddha, as mentioned Mr. Mukunda Bishta earlier, Sakyamuni Buddha was born in Lumbini, and then previous Buddhas of this fortunate union, Krakosanda, he was born in Gotihaba, and then another Buddha, Kanakamuni or Konaka Goman, was born in Niglihaba. It is attested by Ashokan pillars. When we visit Lumbini region, mostly we promote only Lumbini, but just within 30 kilometers of that region, there are 3 Buddha places, Gotihaba, Niglihaba, and Lumbini. So many tourists from Thailand, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, and other countries, they want to visit the past Buddha's places. But Nepali guides have no idea where is Krakusanda's place, where is Kanakamuni's place. So NATTA has good intention to do this Buddhist International Travel Mart, including Greater Lumbini, not only Lumbini where Sakyamuni Buddha was born, and then other Buddhist masters like I already mentioned, like Padmasambhava, and then there is one pilgrim site. We are lucky that Ramgram Stupa, because when Buddha has Mahaparinirvana, then when his body was cremated, there were lots of relics. They were distributed at different places of northern India and southern Nepal. Among them, Ramgram is virgin stupa. Virgin in the sense that other 7 stupas were unearthed by Emperor Ashoka in 3rd century BC, and they were distributed the relic in 4,000 stupas. Some of them we can see in Patan, around the Patan town, some in Nuakot, some in Kirtipur, some in Afghanistan, other places, but within Nepal. But Ramgram Stupa was protected by the Nagas, and then Ashoka's envoys could not took the relic from that Ramgram Stupa. So many Buddhist practitioners from all over the world, they want to visit the original place where Buddha's relic is still intact, not distributed to other places, but like in Vaishali and other parts of northern India, they were unearthed by Emperor Ashok and distributed to different places. But Ramgram is the only one we should promote. So in our itinerary, we have to emphasize the places related with present Buddha Sakyamuni, his birthplace, his royal area, means the Kapilvastu area in the present day Kapilvastu district, Kapilvastu, which is called Kudan, and then the father Suddhodan and Buddha, after becoming enlightened, they meet in that special place. We have stupa. So many Buddhist pilgrims from all over the world, they want to look these places related with present day Sakyamuni, and among them some of areas are related with the previous Buddhas like Krakusanda and Kanakamuni. That is the Lumbini province area, which are mentioned in literature, but we have not marketed well. So how to promote in Buddhist countries as well as Buddhist followers area, not only Lumbini but also Ramgram, Kudan, Kapilavastu, as well as other places in that area. And another interested area is the Nepal Mandala. Kathmandu Valley, we call in present day language, its name is Nepal Mandala. In English, Nepal Mandala. They call Nepal. Ne means the pilgrim place, and then sacred place. Pal means glory, Sri. So Nepal, according to Himalayan language, is glorious holy place. It is clearly written in Tibetan literature. And then there are 50 power places around the Kathmandu Valley traveled by Tibetans. So Swayambhu Stupa, Bodhanath Stupa, as well as little bit farther Namo Buddha Stupa, as well as so many ancient monasteries, so many ancient stupas we have in Kathmandu. So we should offer Kathmandu for both three types of Buddhism: Theravada Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, Vajrayana Buddhism. Obviously, Kathmandu is the best place for Mahayana and Vajrayana place, but we have relic from Buddha Kasyapa, third Buddha of this fortunate eon, Bhadrakalpa. His relic is inside the Bodhanath Stupa. So if we make this type of marketing in Theravada countries like Sri Lanka, Burma, Thailand, and other areas associated with Theravada Buddhism, so they will definitely visit Bodhanath Stupa to pay homage to Kasyapa Buddha. Because so all four Buddhas of this present era are associated with Nepal. 3 in Lumbini area, 1 in Kathmandu Valley. His relic, Asti Dhatu, is inside Bodhanath Stupa. And Buddha has almost 547 lives when he started his first training in Buddhism, and then he took many rebirths which are recorded in Jataka stories. Among them, one of the famous one that was also mentioned by His Eminence Mingyur Rinpoche, Namo Buddha. When he was the Prince Mahasattva, that time he offered his flesh and blood to the hungry tigress and her 5 cubs. And then the Bodhisattva's bone relic is still seen in ancient stupa of Namo Buddha. And many Chinese pilgrims, they want to visit Bodhisattva, Sitigarbha. They want to visit the places of Manjusri, because Manjusri is from China, Uthai Shan, Panchashirsha Parvata in Shanxi province. So if we promote Manjusri cave in Pharping, Manjusri cave in Bhaktapur, Manjusri cave in Chobar, so many Chinese, they are interested in the Bodhisattva Manjusri. So we have that type of places in Kathmandu, and then the other places like Padmasambhava's place in around the Kathmandu Valley. 2 places in Nuwakot. One is Kabilas, one is Devighat. And 1 place is Daman, Rishishwar. And then 1 place in Kabre. So there are 7 power places of Padmasambhava hidden for the future practice. Among them, 5 are in Himalayan region. I think that we'll cover in future time. But this time we have covered mostly Lumbini area and Kathmandu area. And another figure, very important figure in Himalayan Buddhism is Milarepa, the 11th century Tibetan saint, Tibetan poet, Tibetan singer. He has more than 100,000 songs called Mila Gurbum, 100,000 songs of Milarepa. There are 2 big volumes in English, and most of the Buddhist scholars and practitioners all around the world, they have read that book. So they want to visit Nepal. So we have given a glimpse, and we have given certain itineraries, especially Sakyamuni Buddha, Padmasambhava, and then Milarepa in this booklet, which is open today. And then, so this is my preliminary remark, so that I suggest that NATTA should promote not only Sakyamuni Buddha's places, but also previous Buddha's places, Bodhisattva places and Mahasiddhas places, then we can have local tourists also. Like in Lokekar in Mustang, that is the first Gonpa in the world. Before Tibet, first monastery was built in Upper Mustang. So if we promote so many Buddhists in Nepal, they travel easily to that area. The Marathika, we can promote easily. So these are my preliminary remark, and then it is the just beginning part. And when I started Natham as a religious instructor, I have trained most of tour guides to promote these areas, and then these days many new tour guides, they started to promote this area. But from the organization level, we should promote these Buddhist places related with Buddhas, Bodhisattvas and Mahasiddhas. So just I want to conclude my short remark just like this, and then if you have any queries, I am ready to answer after.
Thank you, Punya sir, for your remarkable presentation, shedding lights on many of the aspects of the places, holy places, Buddhist places in Nepal that needs to be highlighted, promoted, so that Nepal can be a center of love and peace and practice for all Buddhist practitioners and also who seek peace. And he had shed lights on many aspects of the probable Buddhist sites in Nepal, not only related to Shakyamuni Buddha, but also there are several undiscovered from the tourism part of point of view. Like, he has rightly pointed out, the Ramgram Stupa, if we highlight it, NATTA should lead and also work together with other related organizations like NTB and Department of Tourism. Then this can be the one of the very famous attraction like Lumini in Nepal. He has also pointed out many power places visited by Padmasambhava, who introduced Buddhism in Tibet. And like he mentioned, Ghargumba in Charang, Upper Mustang, is the first stupa in the world, because Padmasambhava could not build a Shame Gompa in near Lhasa. There were obstacles, so he found that he has to build one stupa in that particular place, so all those obstacles will be warden out. So there are so many places like Milarepa caves and all these things, and very interesting power places for Buddhist practitioners, especially Mahayana and Vajrayana, could be the Bayuls, the hidden sacred land prophesied by Guru Rinpoche centuries ago and practiced by himself and other many prominent Buddhist scholars in the past centuries. And Chinese can come in thousands and millions if we could promote the Faxian and Huanshan, all these historical sites. And probably Faxian and Huanshan must be the oldest and the most prominent Buddhist pilgrims in our sense related to our program here. And in Nuwakot, he mentioned there is ruins of old Bihara that is gone down, but that is very historical. Besides the Beul Point in Nuwakot, like he mentioned. That was the place where King Prithvinarayan received empowerment from Vajrayana master from Tibet. So all these places needs to be explored and then publicized and marketed. Thank you so much for enlightening on all these important aspects. And now I think we should take the questions at the conclusion after deliberation from another prominent speaker, Deepak Raji. So Deepak Raji, can I invite you?
President of NATTA, past presidents, leaders of our tourism industry, especially invited dignitaries, fellow eminent speakers. Namaste to you all. First of all, I would like to congratulate NATTA for organizing this very, very important and very impactful program, especially in the context of COVID-19. Just to talk about, I think my talk will be in the perspective of more in core tourism lines, because I don't have that depth knowledge in spiritual tourism, not spiritual tourism, but in spirituality in a larger perspective. While looking at the trend in past years, I think spiritual tourism is one of the fastest growing tourism sector all over the world. As per UNWTO in 2019, out of 1.4 billion IVAs, I mean the international visitors arrivals, nearly 500 million were directly, indirectly traveled with the motive of spiritual tourism. And another data of Indian government shows that nearly 22% of total revenue was generated from spiritual tourism only. I mean, out of 100% share, the 22% pie is contributed from spiritual tourism only. That's how this segment is growing all over the world. And in coming years, I think probably this sector has guaranteed brightest future in terms of linking with tourism. While talking about the potential as a destination, as our Punesh sir also mentioned, so many things we have to highlight, because all over the world a new trend is also growing. The earlier it was very, very much luxury and comfort-based tourism, but now it is experiential tourism, and it will be the immediate future of our global tourism. So that's where also probably spiritual tourism is one of the best sector that gives variety of different experiences. So in that line also it is very, very important. In 2 or 3 years ago also, in one spiritual program, one spiritual guru was highlighting about few buls, very important sites in Nepal. I heard something around 7 or 5 buls we have, different sacred locations in Buddhist sites. So if positioned well and promoted well, these sites can have a better importance than what we have as a UNESCO sites in Kathmandu. 7 UNESCO sites we have right now. And those 5 or 7 sites also have equal importance, which are totally ignored. I agree with that line also. We experience these days, like, whenever we travel to different parts of the world, especially when we enter into the different bookshops, a few years back, maybe 10 or 15 years back, there used to be very limited books available in spiritual tourism, yoga, meditation, spa, but now there are big compartments, thousands of books being sold in the name of spiritual tourism. So that is also there. While talking about the influence by mass media, movies, blogs, books, social media, but also by tourism depictions of particular people and places. And Southeast Asia, especially South Asia region, is being highlighted very differently. I would like to remember the yogic trek led by Sadhguru, which is very, very influential and impactful when we talk about core tourism. In 2010, there was a very, very popular movie called Eat, Pray and Love, in which this movie shows a woman searching for what meaning in life is. Basically, when we talk about spiritual tourism, it is all about transforming ourselves, regeneration, self-realization, finding inner peace. Especially talking about Nepal, I think we are privileged or fortunate of 2 things. One is our repeat visitors, number of repeat visitors is very, very good. I think we are one of the few countries where number of repeat visitors is higher compared to other countries. And second is, after visiting, when we ask the visitors, the level of satisfaction that the visitors gain is also good, despite having so many challenges in terms of physical infrastructure. Their journeys are emotionally rewarding. This is also one of the reasons that Nepal is very, very powerful in terms of spiritual tourism or spreading spiritual messages. So in that line also, I think this is very good. And we all know that the base of spiritual tourism is obviously religion, pilgrimage, that all things that we have. And from the childhood, we have impression like, the God lives in the Himalayas. Something spirituality, I mean something very good thing in nature. When we walk through pristine nature, automatically we feel healed. That healing power is also with nature. So having thousands of mountains, having more than 45% of its landmass covered by forests, and having thousands of temples and gumbas, Nepal obviously has so much of potential in terms of tourism. I mean, the spiritual tourism, which is obviously the fastest growing segment. And the many tourism gurus, they call new luxury is wellness and spiritual tourism. So in tourism, it has probably the biggest scope. And one last point I would like to also share is basically when we talk, the pilgrimage things are the foundation of spiritual tourism. Now the pilgrimage is being perceived and practiced as a secular pilgrimage. The earlier 10, 15, 20 years back, a Hindu used to be, find a kind of discomfort entering into the church or mosque. A Muslim used to find very discomfort to experiencing Hindu sites. But now, all over the world, this new change is growing. That is obviously better things for tourism. And tourism is one thing that creates harmony, that promotes happiness, peace. These all are things. These all things are the very good ingredient of tourism. So that's why I think talking about the Nepal's perspective, spiritual tourism can lead Nepal's tourism in immediate future. Maybe as Punya sir rightly mentioned, we need to brand a little bit differently, re-identification of experiences and re-differentiation of the experiences. So in that line, if we can position ourselves better, I think we have brighter days ahead in terms of spiritual tourism. Thank you.
Thank you, Devak sir, for enlightening us about the various important aspects of the spiritual tourism related to Nepal, and also sharing with us the revenue part. That's very important. And I didn't know that 22% of the revenue earned from tourism in India comes from the spiritual tourism. And also, you have mentioned that there are post-COVID situation should be carefully addressed to attract the international visitors to Nepal. And also, you have mentioned that the media plays a vital role in promoting tourism, especially these days, the social media and also like Netflix. And also the movies, yes, Hollywood movies would be the most effective way to promote any tourism from any country. And probably Nepal is one of the most liked country from this aspect also. And then the satisfied visitor is the most effective advertisement of any tourism site or tourism sectors in any country. So that also you have rightly pointed out. And Himalayas are the inspiration for the South Asian countries, and not only from the spiritual part, but from many other aspects of our human life also. And then another aspect that we can promote, as you have mentioned, is wellness related to spiritual tourism. Like we have lots of areas related to spiritual wellness, like yoga, which is very, very popular in India, and probably India has made it popular all over the world now. And we have other Mahayana methods of wellness like Kumne, Reiki, Qigong, many others. And fortunately, there are masters, the teachers who can teach these methods in Kathmandu also. And I also developed, I like to share one idea, Nepal is a mountainous country. So I developed an idea like Triple M, the mountain, monasteries, and the meditation. This concept can be widely used to attract all peace lovers, people around the world. You have itineraries related to the mountain, then monasteries. There are many monasteries in the mountain to offer short-term meditation session. On Triple M can be a very useful itinerary in the future.